Hello, my name is Vedant Jain. I am a legal intern with Lexis & Company. In today's video, we will continue what we have learned or studied yesterday. That is, what in case if a fraud is committed by a party, how to determine the fraud and what are the remedies for that fraud under the Indian laws. So the another example in which a fraud can be committed by a party engaging in a contract or in a transaction is the active concealment. Active concealment, mere non-disclosure of some immaterial facts would not per se have a right to rescission unless it is further found that the consent has been secured by practicing some deception or by concealing actively some material fact. Where seller sold property already sold by him to a third person, his conduct amounted to active concealment and fraud, and the buyer could recover the price despite the agreement that the seller could not be responsible for the defect in the title. Another type in which a fraud can be committed and in which a party should know this form is promise without intention of performing it. Making a promise without intention of performing is fraud. Though not so under the English law, it is a fraud under the Indian laws. To bring a case within this clause, it must be shown that the promiser had no intention of performing the promise at the time of making it, and any subsequent conduct or representation is not considered for this purpose. Another type of fraud or another example of fraud is silence. Silence can be considered as fraud in some of the circumstances. Silence about facts is not fraud per se, unless there is an obligation to talk or speak, or if it is equal to expression, mere silence is not fraud. This rule has two skills. First, suppressing portion of the known fact may mislead the assertion of the remainder, although literally true as far as it goes. In such a case, the declaration is substantially incorrect and fraudulent and is willing rejection that makes it so. Secondly, commercial use may impose an obligation to disclose specific flaws in products sold or the like. In such situation, failure to mention such a defect is equal to a statement that there is no such defect. Another type or another type of fraud can be duty to speak. There is a general duty to disclose facts that are or might be equally within the means of knowledge of both parties. In the case of Bell versus Lever Bros, the company agreed to pay large compensation to two employees, the subsidiary company directors whose services were being dispensed with. After paying the money, the company discovered that the directors had committed breaches of duty which would have justified the dismissal without compensation. The House of Lords held that the directors had not breached these with mind and were found no duty to disclose them and were under no duty to disclose them. So we have talked about what are the different kind in which fraud may be committed by a party on the another party in a commercial transaction or a contract. So now we will study what are the different kind of remedies that a party can seek if a fraud is committed with him or her in any contract or in any transactions. Remedies: the defendant is bound. First of the remedies is the defendant is bound to make reparation for all the damages directly flowing from the transaction. Second, although such damage not have been foreseeable, it must have been directly caused by the transaction or by the act of the party. Third, in assessing such damage, the plaintiff is entitled to recover by way of damages the full price faced by him, but he must give credit for any benefits which he has received as a result of the said transaction. Fourth, as a general rule, the benefit received by him into the market value of the property acquired at the date of the transaction, but the general rule is not to be inflexible applied, where to do so would prevent him from obtaining full compensation for the wrong suffered. Fifth, the plaintiff is entitled to recover consequential losses caused by the transaction. And the last remedy that can be availed by the plaintiff is the plaintiff must take all reasonable steps to mitigate the loss once he has discovered the fraud. So we have comprehensively dealt with the topic of fraud and how remedies can be obtained by a party on whose fraud is committed through the court of law. Thank you.